she had threatened that, yo, you know, I could ruin your music career or something like that.
Guys was going past this one cell, so when he yanked the door open, they just throw the cups of boo-boo in there on him.
The motivation for David to carry out the offense was recently disclosed within a courtroom, and this news will circulate throughout his prison housing unit. Federal authorities declared that fresh proof was discovered concerning Celeste, informing David that she intended to report him to law enforcement shortly before her death. This is exactly how DJ Academics would respond to this update.
They're saying that the Celeste girl, maybe she was already talking to the cops, like, yeah, this creep is, you know, he on me. Now, granted, who knows if David was trying to leave her or whatever the case is, but look like she would also try to threaten David with that, to say, yo, you know, I'm about to go tell on your, right? Which already you should know, he should have knew that he's doing something wrong. Well, I mean, he should have knew of GP, like, she's f***ing gang. But she would, allegedly, according to this complaint, she had threatened that, yo, you know, I could ruin your music career or something like that.
Because of this, David faces a significant probability of being targeted while incarcerated. David was moved to one of the most dangerous correctional facilities in America. The report states, David has been relocated to the men's central jail in LA County. It is noted that he remains in isolation because he is a famous individual, leading many to think his fame will protect him, but actually, it will not. A trending comment stated, even with David situated in solitary housing, he still receives his 60 minutes of recreation daily, where other protective custody prisoners will approach and handle him because of his legal accusations. There is no method of remaining secure in there after carrying out the acts that he performed. This is where an ex-convict would clarify what is expected to occur to David in circumstances where he is confined to his unit, regarding what the prisoners intend to do to him.
Our defenders and treated in prison, they got treated bad. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't even think nothing about that. I just know that it was like every 15 to 20 minutes that went past, guys was going past this one cell, and it'd be like, it was three of them. One of them would grab the cell door and be on this side like this, and then the other two would be on this side. So the one, and they did this like every 20 to 30 minutes, every, like clockwork. And this one would yank the door open, and the other two on this side had cups full of and boo-boo. So when he yanked the door open, they just throw the cups of boo-boo in there on him, and then boom, close the door, lock it on him. You know, so that was crazy. But and then some was getting jumped on, some was getting slapped, extorted, some was having to do full favor.
Subsequently, David's prison timetable was made public, stating, quote, David's present confinement status involves being kept in a detached individual unit, guided from his room to bathe, which is permitted only every second day. Only permitted to place calls on bathing days, receives 3 hours of outdoor recreation weekly, lacks television access, cannot receive guests currently, and allegedly has zero funds in his account. A police contact labeled the facility as filthy, odorous, and chaotic, representing a totally contrasting way of life to what David practiced while residing in LA. However, things become even tougher for him because based on his booking details, David is recorded at 5 feet 5 inches and 125 pounds, implying most viewers of this content could probably bench press David. This signifies that he is remarkably small when entering jail or prison where individuals are hunted for the specific crimes they enacted. Additionally, it is unlikely David will develop any strength while locked up considering his 6-day-a-week meal plan posted on the internet. At his current facility, the evening meal 6 nights weekly consists of macaroni and beef, an apple, 8 ounces of milk, and a peanut butter bar for a treat. This implies David will either remain at 125 pounds or potentially drop more weight. But this is a point where it becomes fascinating and likely the cause for David being targeted because once David joins his unit, his legal files will be passed from cell to cell to determine if he is accepted there. His formal accusations state, David allegedly performed the act using a sharp item. Per the legal team, the counts against David include 1 murder count, a murder count for monetary benefit, a murder count to stop a witness, a murder count involving lying in wait, utilization of a lethal object, and counts for his actions towards Celeste afterward as detailed by Jesse Weber of Law.
First of all, we suspected that David would be charged with after that was what he was arrested for, and in other court documents that came out a couple months ago, we know that he was being investigated for murder. But first-degree murder with special circumstances? Lying in wait to murdering a witness as part of an investigation? Murdering for financial gain? And now facing the possibility of the death penalty, even though it's my understanding there is a moratorium in California. That is a huge deal.
It is important to observe David's reaction when these accusations were announced publicly in the courtroom to truly understand how anxious he feels about returning to his jail cell. Even David's relatives responded, stating, "We are disappointed but not shocked that the district attorney chose to move forward this way." His family continues to support him completely. However, David's own reaction appeared very different. Reports state, as the judge read through David's charges, the well-known singer was seen with his mouth wide open, appearing stunned and or shouting. The judge concluded by referencing the potential penalty, which caught many people in the courtroom off guard, and even led David's attorney to issue a statement on his behalf during today's session. They expressed, "We are confident that the real evidence will demonstrate David Burke did not commit this offense, nor was he responsible for her death." The defense also requested a preliminary hearing within 10 days, as required unless the right is waived. They added, "We want the evidence to be revealed at the earliest possible time." With new details surfacing that David's iPhone allegedly contained multiple terabytes of disturbing material that should never be viewed by anyone, it remains unclear why his attorneys are pushing for the evidence to be presented so quickly. Regardless, it certainly will not benefit David while he remains incarcerated. Reports indicate David once again seemed extremely uneasy as his lawyer entered a not guilty plea and asked for the evidence to be disclosed. News outlets wrote, David Burke allegedly appeared tense, his eyes shifting around the courtroom as he pleaded not guilty. His legal team is requesting a complete preliminary hearing along with grand jury transcripts. His next court date is April 23rd, with no bond granted. The explanation for David being immediately denied bail has now been made public, with a new statement reporting. Authorities reveal that David's arrest took considerable time because federal agents had wiretaps placed across his devices, observing and collecting incriminating missteps. Additionally, they were investigating individuals close to him and secured cooperation agreements with witnesses prepared to testify regarding his relationship with Celeste, effectively strengthening their case before trial even begins. One key figure is his alleged secret partner, Neo Langston. Neo posted on Instagram, "Thankfully, I'm legally cleared in every aspect, and yes, I have receipts of everything." Archived Instagram photos show David and Neo recreating the iconic Titanic pose, lying in bed together, and several other intimate moments.
You know who that person is, and do you believe that is the person that moved the Tesla?
So I definitely know who moved that Tesla on that late July before they went on tour. I can't say who the person, and I don't mean I can't say but I don't know who exactly was in that house because it's just a report, but there's video, but you can't make a person out. But somebody was in the house, and being that there's only one key, it's like, okay, who had access at that time? So is it the same person that moved the Tesla? Was another last part of the plan about to go in motion as far as getting rid of her? I don't know.
Before David was taken into custody, viral speculation circulated stating, records show that David and Neo, who were frequently seen together, have unfollowed each other on Instagram. What really happened to Celeste? And who placed her inside the Tesla? Did Celeste discover or witness something critical involving David given his status as a public artist, which unfortunately appears to have been the case? This is where developments become even more compelling. An investigator noted that the prosecutor confirmed there are more than 40 terabytes of discovery material in this matter, and it will require significant time to provide all of it to the defense. That suggests there are over 40 terabytes of evidence-related file connected to David's trial, with certain portions already leaking onto the internet. I have compiled everything for you now. After reviewing it all, share in the comments whether you believe he sounds guilty. Federal authorities will begin by highlighting how David and Celeste subtly introduced their relationship online. This occurred during a brief Twitch livestream where David presented Celeste to his audience.
Yo, wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer
Which one? What's good, David? Big fan, big spot. Oh, thank you. Mitchell.
I gotta sign with him if you even...
We
need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too?
This moment carried importance for two main reasons: the subtle confirmation of their relationship and the sweatshirt Celeste was wearing during the stream. That hoodie was later discovered inside David's residence. However, it was not the only clothing item recovered. Investigators located a photo on David's iPhone showing Celeste wearing another designer distress-style hoodie. A Reddit post pointed out, "Saw this online. Isn't the circled hoodie the same one Celeste is wearing in that picture?" The identical torn sweatshirt was visible on David's bedroom floor in a selfie he had taken, leading authorities to suspect the two were sharing the same room. Additionally, files uncovered in David's iCloud account appeared to resemble a confession. Investigators observed that the picture frame position behind David matched one located in his undisclosed rental property. This rental home was reportedly where Celeste stayed whenever she was not residing with her parents.
Hey guys, I know I haven't posted on this account in a little minute, but I just had some words to share with you for 2025. Despite all the craziness that's going on, all the turmoil, the natural disasters, the pain and things like that this year, I just wanted to tell you guys not to be discouraged and not to lose hope and not to turn your face from God in these times of evil. And it seems like it's the most insane start to a year that I've ever seen. But God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. So keep that sound mind, 2025. Stay prayed up.
Authorities examined the metadata from David's iCloud account and determined that he recorded the video around the same period investigators believe Celeste had died. In that footage, David unexpectedly references multiple deaths occurring in his life. Investigators followed up and found no relatives or close acquaintances had passed away near that time frame, suggesting he may have been referring to Celeste, almost as though it was an indirect admission. If that detail was not unusual enough, David also participated in two particularly strange interviews. In one, he mentioned wanting to relocate to a remote island without social media within 4 years. Coincidentally, that timeline aligns with when Celeste would have reached adulthood.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Okay, so the plan is hopefully this music thing takes off crazy next year.
Why is he saying? Why are you saying that like you're not like up there?
Well, I'm not there yet, but hopefully it's like even crazier next year. And then I'm going crazy year after year for the next 3 years. And then on the 4th year, I retire. And on the 5th year, I'm off the grid, living somewhere like on an island with this crazy crib. No social media, no digital footprint. I'm just gone. I'm just gone. In 5 years, I'm gonna be gone.
Will you still remember me?
Yeah, bro. You'll have like the secret codes to the mansion.
Yeah?
You can pull up on every
What's the secret code? Give us the first two numbers.
Absolutely
of the secret.
not.
Investigators noted that David was asked where he sees himself in 5 years, yet he answered by saying where he wants to be in 4. However, the second interview was even more troubling. It relates to recent updates about David. An alleged image of David wearing a wig similar to the one Celeste had on has appeared online, suggesting they not only coordinated Halloween costumes, but also showing that David attends anime conventions, which is completely acceptable, yet it is a way David talks about anime that raises concerns. David admitted he has an alter ego existing in an anime-style universe. He imagines himself as an anime character who goes out and commits major crimes, but pay attention to the specific crime he mentions as his example.
Basically an agent of chaos and kind of my alter ego, and the story of the manga went like I was a detective and there was an evil version of myself that would kind of come out at random moments, kind of like Fight Club with Tyler Durden, and he would commit the crimes that I would have to solve as the detective. So like when I was as the detective, I'd be like solving that I'm committing myself. And it was like a cool little story. I didn't think anything would come of it, like it was in the vault.
One viral response stated, "There are hundreds of offenses he could have referenced when explaining his alter ego, but he decided to mention that. I cannot be the only one noticing how clear this seems, right? What makes it even stranger is considering the offense that took place in the location where Celeste was discovered, David requested the Tesla back. After authorities seized the Tesla and completed their forensic review, it was placed in an impound yard, and David was informed he could retrieve it. Several weeks passed, and he never claimed it, likely because he wanted to avoid interacting with law enforcement. However, just 48 hours before the vehicle was scheduled for auction, David arranged to have the Tesla returned to him.
Let me read you
what Steve recently posted on X, okay? David's Tesla, the vehicle in which Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found, was held by LAPD for only 48 hours to process evidence. After that, it was returned to the impound lot for David to retrieve, which he had not done until today. The Tesla was scheduled to go to auction tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., and I had planned to attend and inspect it. However, in the final hours before auction, David, or someone with power of attorney acting on his behalf, picked it up. When I checked last week, the storage fees were approximately $10,500, as the vehicle had been released and available for pickup since September 10th, before Celeste had been identified. I hope just the thought of that vehicle haunts David and anyone else that knew Celeste was in the trunk for the rest of their lives.
This suggests that David understands what is unfolding in the investigation, while also actively seeking the return of his property. If he truly is innocent, as he and his attorneys claim, why would he insist on getting that vehicle back? Even more concerning was what authorities reportedly discovered inside his private rental property. News report stated, an investigator disclosed an incinerator capable of reaching temperatures of up to 1,600 degrees was located within David's residence.